Hello everyone, I'm Marcus from lastingimpressionart.com, and today I'm going to show you how to get your images and video that look like this to looking like this with just one simple adjustment.
I already brought the two images into Photoshop, and the one adjustment I do to pretty much every image I take is levels. And we can adjust the levels by going to the Layers panel and clicking Adjustment Layers and going to Levels. This brings up our histogram. A histogram tells you where along black to white the pixel information resides. And this slider is pure white, this slider is pure black, and this is our 50%. So in order to make this image pop more, we need to have pure white, pure black, and a good amount of 50%. So let's bring those blacks up first. So look at that. Where we had just 25% gray before, we now have pure black. And that alone made the image look a lot better. But we can take it even farther by adjusting the white levels. And the thing with black and white both is you don't want to take them in too far, because once you bring that slider in too far, you start losing detail, and we want to preserve that, so let's not take it too far. Let's bring that back to about there. So even in the whites, we can probably reel back a bit because we're kind of losing of the definition inside the skin. So let's bring that up a bit. And then we're left with the 50%. So most people think if you bring the 50% down, it's going to make the image darker. But let's see what happens. It now got brighter. Now you may be asking, why is that? Well, because now we're telling Photoshop we want this here and everything above it to go from 50% grayscale to white. So now these pixels here are blending to black. So we now have more pixels on this side blending to white than we did before. So in order for those midtones to go towards black, we actually have to move it forward. And this is usually what I do for my images because I normally expose for white and then have to bring the blacks back. So that's how you adjust the levels with an adjustment layer. You can also adjust the levels by selecting your layer and going to Image, Adjustments, Levels. And we have our levels here again. And it's the original levels because it's underneath of the levels adjustment layer. The only time I use the image adjustment levels is when I absolutely have to adjust one level and it's sitting on a stack of images, because the problem with an adjustment layer is it adjusts every layer below it. So if I need to change just one layer, I will use image adjustment, but before I do that, I will make a duplicate copy of that layer so that I don't lose the original, and I'll just click the eye off so that it's not visible, but it's there in case I need to go back and use it. And the layers work the same. The levels work the same whether you use the adjustment level or the image adjustments levels. So let's go to that other image. And once again, you can see that I have too much light spilling in to the camera. Whereas before this was from the sun spilling in, we now have this wall behind her, a big white wall, acting as a giant reflector bouncing light into the camera. And that caused the contrast to go way down. So once again, let's bring up our adjustment layer levels. Whoops. And you can see this histogram, there's far more towards the blacks and far more towards the whites. It's not all bunched up towards the middle at 50%. It's kind of the opposite, actually. But you can see there's no pure whites and no pure blacks. So just as we did with the other one, we're going to bring the blacks up And you can now see we do have pure blacks in there, and bring the pure whites up so that that wall goes to white. And we'll even bring it a little further just to get the skin slightly overexposed, because it's a lot more flattering to have less detail, less texture information within the skin. It makes it look a lot softer and a lot more glowy. And then we can adjust the 50%. But in this case, if we do what we did with the other image and bring that up to make our darks darker, we start affecting the skin, because that's the closest thing we have towards a 50% color. And as you can see, that doesn't look very good. So we're actually going to bring that 50% slider down to make the skin glow just a bit more. And then we can bring that black up a bit if we want, so that it really pops. And that's pretty much what I do for every image. Go through, play with the sliders to get it to really punch, because I like images with a lot of contrast. I think they come off the page a lot more. So that's with images. I'll also show you that you can do it with video. You can also do it with video. Here I have a video of Justin Hillgrove, which you may have seen in our other videos. And you can go to color correction, go down to levels, and just drag that onto our video. Here we have the histogram that we saw just like with the images, and this should be pure white. So let's bring that slider up. Bring it to there. So look at that. Now that's much brighter. Image pops a little more. We can take it even further by filling that white, by bringing that 50% slider down, and then bring those blacks back up. Now the sketch pops a lot more, and this is really helpful for anything where you really want it to punch out, and any kind of sketch or anything like that really shines by adjusting it and focusing your exposure for the artwork rather than any of the rest of the video.
I hope that helped you out. Please be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of our weekly videos. Also, if you'd like to help us out, please be sure to click on the Amazon link below or the Amazon banner at lastingimpressionart.com before you purchase anything on Amazon. We get a small commission at no extra cost to you. You can also follow us on Twitter at lastingimp.art. Thanks for watching.